It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag, it's the emblem for me and for you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Parkfield Poddy. Rainy season has finally ended for a week and we finally got some games in, so here we back once again, thanks to O'Brien Real Estate Keysborough and MB Place Streaming for sponsoring this podcast. Big podcast today, a lot to talk about with the month off. As always, I'm joined by Canno. Welcome, mate.
Thank you very much, Christopher. Pleasure to be here as always, my friend.
As always, and joined by Jordan Hill.
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Special guest this week, we have the current president of the Parkfield Career Club, podcasting extraordinaire, and very vocal on social media, David Swierbiolek.
Thanks for that intro, Pondy.
No dramas, mate. How you doing?
Mate, I'm well. How are you guys?
Good, mate.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. One
Still
hour.
a bit better.
Jordie, I'm a bit like you. I don't know what time I got home last night, and then I've been in the cricket coaching clinic all day. So I actually fell asleep during Catherine Fitzpatrick's presentation. So I'm pretty
Nice.
up there right now.
Obviously, last night, England won the World Cup. So that is cricket news, and this is a cricket podcast. So I felt obliged to share that. I couldn't care less, to be honest.
Very
It
disappointing.
was good. It was good. Canno and I were there. It's a good game, wasn't it, mate?
Oh, look, it sounded like a great game.
Oh, it's a good game. It's just a damn shame that my boys Pakistan didn't get it done. My man Harris Ralph. What a man.
Your boys.
Get him up here. I want to move him.
Your boys. Yeah, so T20 cricket is okay.
Off to a cracking start again here, Pondy. Just really firing on all cylinders you are.
Oh, I'm cool as a dog. Big weekend. But yeah, we'll hop straight to match reports, get them out of the way, so we can really dive into the illustrious career of David over here. So, Canno, do you want to kick us off with the first 11?
Yeah. Disappointing in a word. We played our first game out at Beaconsfield. Lost the toss as always. Got sent in on a slightly tacky wicket, but a decent wicket. Just never really got going. Never really got going with the bat. Probably didn't have enough runs. Didn't quite bowl well enough either. Just didn't hit the right spots and ended up, I think they chased in 30-something overs. So pretty disappointing. A couple of highlights, big sexy, the big tripod, Roshi Kure. Just galloping in on all three legs and just sending them down. So he bowled a really good first spell. His first game back up in the ones for a while. And RJ Payne, the gorgeous man with long hair, top scoring for us at 3. So promising signs from the young fellas, but the rest of us need to pull our socks up. Chris?
Did look like that. Unfortunately, Zaron has an injury. Do you want to shed some light on that as well?
His tissue paper hamstring got wet with all the rain over the last 6 weeks and just fell apart. It was quite disappointing. It was like a streamer just going snap. Went take off for a quick single and boom went the, I think it was left hammy. So, no good. We'll, send him off for scans. No, we won't do that. But we'll wait to see what the physio comes back with, see how bad his hammy is. And, just hopefully he rehabs right and gets back sooner rather than later. But he's a good man. He'll be sorely missed while he's out, but I'm sure he'll still be a presence around the club. Yes.
I'm sure he will be. All right, nice. Unfortunate, but thank you for that recap, Canno.
A guest on this podcast too. We left that out, didn't we? Just a star of the show.
He's one of the friends of the show.
And actually, I stand corrected too. Zaron was the top scorer.
When you said
I just wanted to pump up RJ, but Zaz was actually the top scorer. So well done, Zaz. To you, pal.
So did he retire hurt?
No, soldiered on like the tough boy that I raised him to be. As you know, Zaron is my son. So I was quite proud of him when he tore his hamstring off the bone and still batted out the last over and a half. Him and Nico actually put on 30 odd for the last wicket. Dare I say it, Nico Jeffrey played the shot of the day. Square drive through point for 4, and that's all we're ever going to say about it. No more. Can we get that struck off the recording, actually, Jordan? I really don't want him to hear that.
I don't know why you brought it up, to be honest.
Yeah, I apologise.
So, moving on to the seconds, we also played Beaconsfield, but not at Beaconsfield.
Oh, who would have thought?
At Parkfield. Played them at Parkfield. He won the toss, and then Fergie said, "Can you give me a minute to discuss this with my team, please?" And then came to the team huddle, asked us what we wanted to do and what we thought we should do. Left the other captain in the middle of the wicket by himself. We were there for about a couple of minutes and came to the decision that we'll bat. Walked back over and said, "Yeah, mate, we'll have a bat." So really from the get-go, I'm like, we're not winning this game. There's not a chance to win this game. So we batted first. Sully and George got us off to a really good start. I think we were done for 40 odd. And then Sully, he gets a bit tired and maybe threw his wicket away. George batted really well. Top score was 36. And then after that, no one really got going. A lot of staff, not a lot of finishers. And but Tony Payne, reliable Tony Payne, came in at 8 and just absolutely smacked them. Like that bloke just aged backwards. It's ridiculous how clean he can just like come into an innings and hit the ball. So he had a 30 not out. And Daniel Ferguson came in with 2 balls to go and tried to ramp the first one with no helmet on and completely missed the ball and stacked it. Not a good start for Fergie. So we put 165 on the board. 165 at Parkfield is absolutely winnable. Probably par, if not over par. But to be honest, this was the best I've ever seen Parkfield's deck play. And it was also the fastest I've ever seen the outfield. It was ridiculous. It must be like from the soccer club grass or whatever, but it was just absolutely awesome to bat on. We went out to bowl and really just got our lines wrong early. They had a bat who just loved playing to the leg side, and we weren't any wider of off stump all day to him. He finished on 87 not out. And they had a couple other contributions here and there, but when you have a bloke make 90 and you chase a 170, no one else really has to do much. So they chased it in the 39th over. It came down to the wire. No one bowled awesome. Brino bowled pretty well. Sully and George pegged it back quite a bit as well with good economies. But yeah, something a day to forget for the twos. Definitely could have won that match, and we threw it away. So, yeah. Do you want to talk about the threes, Swizz?
I sure can. Jordie lost the toss. I was running late.
You Swizz, just before you start, are you prepared for this, mate? Have you been on a podcast before? Like, have you got everything sorted at home to deliver this?
I just threw this gear together, mate.
Okay. Yeah. No, I just thought I'd ask, mate.
Yeah, that's right, mate.
Like
Mate, it's a real honour,
yeah,
to be on this podcast and that.
library.
It's
For those not watching the video, Swizz is talking to a big white penis at the moment. So, just for those on audio only.
And he's also got like one of those drop-down microphones.
Yeah, that too,
Yeah.
Oh, where we go there. Yeah, so Jordie lost the toss because I was running late. And then, we fielded with 9. Our Austrian import and our new 14-year-old women's captain were both also running late. So that was a not the best start. And I think they were 71 after 9 overs. So they were absolutely slaying us. Managed to peg it back. They made 177 in the end. So the last sort of 31 overs there were pretty good in the field. I think Emmy took 2 for 35. And then somebody else took most of the rest of the wickets.
Who might that be, Dave? Do you want to share that with us, Prez?
I tell you what, Koo was pretty happy because he found out the news that our lovely Jivan might have dropped the president's fifer and that. So the head would have been really swelled coming on here today if I'd taken the 5. But yeah, just the 4 for me this week. But yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. They came out all right. Geordie Coots looked after me behind the stumps.
That's fair.
Did you turn one?
I don't think I did today, actually. I mean, on Saturday. But, but mate, they got through, so that's all that matters. But unfortunately, it doesn't really matter that much because we were no good with the bat. Plaguey Barnes opened the batting, looked fantastic, played an absolute smashing straight drive, made 23. I think Holly had no idea what to do with herself. She did colouring books, drawings, and that. She hasn't seen Blake bat that long in her life, and anyone's really life. So,
did you get the colouring books out of your bookcase behind you? Where she got them from?
So no, well done to Blakey there. He got 23, and Manny back. He made 27, so he batted really well. Anne was not out. But unfortunately, we only put 100 on the board. So, yeah, a bit of a disappointing day overall for us.
All right. Story of Parkfield's day. So, we'll keep it going with the thoughts. Our fours have moved from D grade or E grade, am I correct, to 1-day ones. Yep. So we played Springvale out at Narry South Reserve,
Narry North.
Narry North Reserve, 50-50 chance there.
Yeah.
Which we batted first, put 102 on the board. It looked like older head Darren Linton top scored with made 32 not out, batting at 6. And old reliable Sean Fearless Fear made 35 with the stick. That bloke can bat.
Hey,
He needs to bat himself higher. That bloke can absolutely bat.
good man.
And just looking at the scores as well, Raymond Aids out for a duck hit wicket. So
Oh no, Razor.
I couldn't think of more Raids
Ray.
wicket than
Raymundo.
So he reckons he was on. He reckons he was on for at least 14 as well. So unfortunate for Ray. So 102 runs probably not enough to have on the board. Spring South went into bat, and we did pretty well with the ball. We had them 9 for 100 with 1 ball to go, and then they hit a 2 off the last ball to win the game, which was unfortunate. Good comeback by the fourths, but unfortunately couldn't get the job done. So that wraps up Saturday's games. Jordie, do you want to talk about the 2 of the girls' teams on Sunday?
I can do that. So on a happier note, we'll move to the women's who had a better day for the weekend. So our Shield side had a doubleheader this weekend. So they played 2 T20 matches, one after the other. Just a bit of a wrap up. I know we haven't been on the podcast for a month, but the women's Shield side is 6-0 now. So we've got on the pass. Yeah, we've got on the park most weekends. But currently we're sitting 3rd on the ladder out of the top 2 by percentage. So with 1 round to go, we'll hopefully look to jump in there, but it's going to be tough. So I'll start with the morning game. We went to Narry and played Narry South. Got off to a really good start, and we rolled them for 27, which is lovely. And the other team actually only made 4 runs off the bat, so the other ones just came from our no balls and wides, what have you. But other than that, yeah. And shout out to Yeleni, who kept for the first time while I was not playing this game, and she took her first caught behind. So well done to her.
YP.
I know. Also shout out in the bowling, Katie took three wickets for 4 runs, and Tegan also took her first 2 wickets for the club. So awesome to her.
Love it.
Then we went out to bat and we passed them none down in 3.3 overs. So shout out to Hassini, who made 20 runs. So awesome job there. I was actually at work thinking I don't even need to come and play this second game because they clearly don't need me. We then headed out to Sky and played Sky, and we bowled first as usual. And what happened? Sky ended up we got them 5 for 94, so a bit more than the first game, but that's okay. We're always up for the challenge of chasing down the runs. God, I'm on the wrong page. Hang on. Who took wickets? We had
My cricket guru.
yeah, pretty spread out. No, not really spread out across the board, but Villani took 2 for 11 and Yells took 2 for 11 as well. So awesome job to them. We then went out to bat and we lost a few early wickets just due to lack of communication and they got run out. So that was tough. But when it was low, we just kept pushing forward and chased them down in, I think, 13 overs, which was awesome. Brodie made 42, so standard from her, and Hassini made 16. So,
Nice.
yeah, it's a good day.
Real good day.
Real good day.
Lovely.
I believe I'm doing the ladies' seconds game.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, not a problem at all. So we were down at Mackie, which is down Bentley Way. Anne, our 14-year-old, captaining her second game, won the toss, and we decided to have a bat. Had some unfortunate outs, like literally within the last hour before the game. We had some in the morning with Shield, and then we had a couple other girls come down with COVID, and another couple sick, and another one dealing with something personal. So all of a sudden we found ourselves with 5 players, but some of the supporters that had come down to watch decided to throw the whites on, never had played before, and help out the girls, which was fantastic. We managed to bat our 20 overs, still made 4 for 96. So terrific effort by the young ladies. And 14, Sienna 16 not out, and Eshley in her first game watching her sister made 19 not out. So she went from just to supporting to, oh yeah, let's give this a crack, and God, she hit some beautiful fours. So yeah, that was fantastic effort from her and all the girls. And also Shiny, Anne's mum, retired not out. So yeah, another one that was roped into the game, and so some terrific efforts there by our fill-ins.
Right up the contract.
Fantastic.
Write the contract up now.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's definitely, especially Ashley. We think we'll have her recruited now, which is Hansley's sister, another girl new to the club. Unfortunately, Mackie chased it down. Their two openers just absolutely smashed us. But Anne and Sienna sort of brought it back. Anne got 2 wickets, a very nice caught and bowled. Sienna 1 for 2 off 3 when she took the gloves off. Very talented, that young lady. And so they had passed us 3 down in the 13th or 14th over. So unfortunately, it was disappointing not to get the win, but I thought the way the girls fought it out, and you couldn't be more proud of them.
Lovely, mate. So that wraps up our match reports for the weekend.
What about Friday night? Jordie or somebody might know what happened there.
Canno.
Hey,
Stevie.
Friday night.
Stevie.
What a night. What a time to be alive. All my little buddies, been coaching them in Woolworths Blast for the last 2-3 years. They all strapped up in their Parkfield shirts and went out and played under 10s, and they got a win. They brought home the Chockies first game. It was a bit of a countback system with the so you lose runs for a wicket loss, similar to like an indoor cricket sort of scenario. So Fountain Gate had us covered until we added up all the wickets that they lost. So yeah, about 10 minutes after the game, we worked out we actually won. So the guys are going to break it to them at training. They actually won on Friday night, but it was fantastic. Junior cricket back on at Parkfield Friday night at the home ground. Parents down watching and supporting. Some sons of guns as well. With a young Doig and a young Polgar taking the field, and a former captain, Gerald's got his young fella running around there as well. So yeah, and a plethora of local talent, may I add. It's it was really good to see, and well led by Rory, Caitlin, Shane Kure, and Mabal was absent, but they're taking on that role this year, and we thank them for it because it's really important to us. So yeah, it was a great night. It really was.
Lovely. It's great to see juniors back at Parkfield. It's been a while, but good to see.
Pondy, if you mind me jumping in there, and Canno also has got his Wally Blasters up and about on a Saturday morning. So great work, Stevie. I know you do a tremendous work with that and all the helpers that come down. So hopefully that keeps building better and stronger this year again.
Yeah.
Have you thought about doing more for the club, Canno?
Yeah, I think I don't need 8 hours of sleep at night, so I'm sure I could work something else in overnight.
Mate, I operate on 4, so you've got some room.
Hold my beer. Oh, sorry, mate. Hey, next week I'll have a big white penis just hanging here as well, just so I can be a real podcast.
Lift your game, VP.
Go get yourself a big white penis, Canno. Great stuff. Cool. So we'll move on to our interview section of the podcast where we have our great Dave Swierzbiolek. He, if you don't know about Dave, he is the captain of the thirds, president of the cricket club for the last 3 seasons.
4th year this year.
4th, yep. So like the work he does is absolutely immense. So we'll get into that in a sec. But I just want to start it off, mate. Do you want to give us a background about where you came from in terms of your cricket, where you played juniors, where you might have played some of your seniors, and how you got to the club? Who brought you down?
Yeah, absolutely, no problems, mate. Actually, even that's a funny story because everybody thinks I grew up in Ferntree Gully, but born in Scoresby. Grew up in Ferntree Gully. Never was allowed to play outdoor cricket because my parents just aren't into sport. And then I used to play a lot of street cricket. Started getting into indoor, and then I had a mate's dad see me play cricket out one day. They had their under 14s opening bat, have his arm broken, so he came down and said, "Can you come and open the batting for the rest of the season?" was pretty shit house at that, but we gave it a go. So that was over at Croydon Rangers, which is my first club. And then the year after, they realised that I was much better with the ball, so opened the bowling for the next couple of years of my juniors. Believe it or not, I was an opening bowler and won at least one bowling award opening the bowling. So, yeah.
Mate, we're gonna have to fact check.
This is actually 100% legit. 100% legit. Yeah. So the things you find out about people. So yes, no, I was an opening bowler. Yes, I did that and played indoor at Knox. Pretty early on, I was made, those Super League teams by about the age of 16. So I did that. Played seniors from about 16. First year of seniors, won a premiership over at Croydon. And just thought that happens. Like, how does that not happen every year? You just roll up. Following year, then started bowling leggies, won the bowling award bowling leggies. So I've got my name on the honour board over there as well for that. Couldn't bat to save my.
Listen to him. I just want to know what club you played for before you came to Parkfield,
couldn't bat to save myself, mate. Went to Kilsyth for 1 year because I wanted to try wicket keeping because that's what I did in indoor. Didn't enjoy my time there at all. Went over to South Belgrave, 3 years over there. Had a good time. Started opening the batting, wicket keeping. Unfortunately got dropped for a premiership, which I'm still pretty devastated about. So, and then stuck it out one more year, and I'd started teaching by then over at Kingswood and Dingley. So Lukey Wanless and Gracie were two of my indoor cricket teammates, and they were in my ear about coming down to Parkfield. I knew Darren Linton as well. He had a fish and chip shop up near where I played indoor. So, met the great man a few times, but especially Lukey, and pushed to get me over. So, over I came, which was, I believe, 15 years ago now. Played D or E grade with Lukey captaining, Sheehan, opened the batting with Gracie. I think Lukey kind of persisted with me as a keeper batsman that year with not much luck, but I just fell in love with the place. The likes of, Tony Payne. I think the big difference I've always said is, like, straight away you have guys like him come up, shake your hand, get to know who you are. Been at 3 outdoor clubs and probably 4 top level indoor clubs, and just the respect that Parkfield people have for each other. Willing to get to know people no matter what grade you're in. That's not always the case at clubs I've been at. And you had great people like the senior blokes, fantastic, your Harrys and your Paddies and that. And then even the young guys, like obviously Canno, you were still there before you went off to Premier. The cricket trip that year was awesome fun. Just we've shared a few stories about that. And from there it's just, I fell in love with the place. I'd moved to Eltham the year after, obviously I had a pretty bad breakup, moved some schools, and ended up in Eltham for 3 years, but still decided to make the hour trip. I don't even think the East Link was built then. So made the hour or so trip. A few people would know that I was like finishing training about 9:30, 10 o'clock and be like, I'll be home by about after 11. But absolutely loved the joint, and just kept coming back. And I think maybe 3 years after that, Paddy Hill then asked me to coach under 17s, and by then I was absolutely 100% locked into this club.
Lovely, great. You actually answered a lot of the questions we had.
Sorry, mate. I'm
we
sure.
have so it might be a short interview. Canno's completely done with all these questions.
Anybody knows me, I've got answers for everything. So let's go.
My favourite memory about this trip away that he's telling me about, and I can tell this one.
Yes.
I can tell this one. But we had a rule. We're sitting at this pub down in Hobart, and we had a rule. It was $2 if you swore, or a gold coin donation, I should say, and $2 if you called somebody by their nickname. So you had to address each other by your proper name. So we're all sitting around and, we're talking to each other. Tony Payne is Anthony. How you going, Anthony? And Hubba was Bradley, Dale instead of Harry and this sort of stuff. And Swizz was only new to the club. And, just everybody just knew him as Swizz because A, nobody can spell Swierzbiolek, and B, nobody knew him as David. So we just didn't speak to him for about 3 or 4 hours. Sucked in.
Yeah,
Um,
no, that is very true. There's still, I think sometimes my mum still calls me Swizz. It's just one of those names that my granddad was called Swizz. My cousin gets Swizzy or something like that, just because I've got a monopoly on that nickname. So, yeah, there's people that, even the other day I did a school clinic, and you could see Suki just going through her mind, going, "Fuck, I know this guy's first name. It's something."
Swizz, there's no
So-
swear on this podcast.
oh well, you know,
no.
Oh my god.
sure
He's
it's
just
R-rated.
dropped two. He's on
Stop
fire
doing
this
it. The
week.
first time you're lucky I didn't play up.
Clearly, you haven't seen my podcast then, Pondy. Actually, I know you're a good supporter of it.
I have. That's why it took so long to get you on. Anyway. Cool. So can I do you want to ask what questions you can or you have left?
What was that?
Sorry, I'm eating a halal snack pack during this. Do you want to run through your questions for David?
Well, as you've probably caught the drift of your roles at the club this year, and what you love about the club, but you've pretty much answered all them. But
I can go on more, mate.
a couple of roles you didn't talk about. We've got an inaugural under-18 girls team this year. You will be captaining that. We have
Captaining, God, I wish.
Sorry, jeez.
Might make a run.
Well,
Probably
you
won't.
borrow
that'll
my
get me
outfit
out
from
too.
Parkfield, mate, and give it a go. But no, you'll be coaching that. And the other one that people probably don't see, which is a very thankless job, is sort of chairman of selecting of the women's, trying to drum up sides each week. So do you want to talk us through those roles along with the presidency and what that sort of entails?
Yeah, well, thanks to also, chairman select as well. We've worked with Paddy coming on and, obviously helping Paney for the last couple of years and that. I think I did chairman of selectors outright maybe for a couple of years, 7 or 8 years ago. So that was interesting. I always say some of those phone conversations with Spolly, talking about himself for half an hour and then his dogs for 15 minutes before we could select teams was always very interesting. But no, that was very enjoyable time. But yeah, firstly, the under 18 girls, it's really exciting. Obviously, we've been trying to get this up for a while. Talked to Neil Lou, she couldn't jump on board quicker enough. So to have somebody of her talent, congratulations to her. Just got picked for the Vic Country squad today. I messaged her dad about it, and her dad didn't even know one of her teammates, Tiana, and I were in at Cricket Victoria, so we got the news before they had. So I was like, sorry, Sam, I actually knew before. I didn't get the opportunity for Neil Lou to break that to him. But yeah, so that's really exciting to have some of these great young girls. We've been working with a couple of them. I think I coached under 12s last year, and had Jade and Anne, and we've got Eden. So we've got our own local girls, and Tasha and Sienna, who have both come over from Silverton, and then we've got a couple of new girls who have joined the club. So it's really exciting. They're very talented, and obviously you'll push into that women's program, and some of them are already playing, and a couple of them already have shield hats. So yeah, that's really fantastic for the growth of the club going there. I've always enjoyed my coaching. I think I've coached under 17s, had the premiership year and I love those boys. You still got Lobsy, Jordan Coots, Travi D'Souza at the club, Shaq, Jack Jones, even the boys who Imran as well, who I get to play with still. So Brody Snow, and then even the boys who aren't there anymore, Madge and Tommy Filipovsky, who's doing some great stuff in the wrestling world. So Maddie Delaney. So I absolutely love those boys, and that's what it's about. Like, you see them now as mid 25-year-olds. Sharon's another one, and it's great to see them doing so well in their life, and the opportunity now to play with them as adults. It's fantastic. I couldn't be happier with how that's all sort of panned out. So I enjoy the coaching side of things, always have. And then, just getting involved with the club, so as the secretary, vice president, what else have I freaking done in there? Junior president, all that sort of stuff. But then to now do president and actually run the club, I always thought when I first got to the club, and you meet Paney and then Ant and Paddy and meet all these presidents that we've had, you just think, wow, like, they do such an enormous job. How would you even able to compare yourself to being in those shoes with those sort of people, and to able to lead the club and have all their support, Dags, Beck, they all come back. They've all been supportive in different ways throughout my time. And I'm just honoured. I obviously get a lot of support from, Jordie's secretary, Canno, just been amazing. Rukshan, Thilany, Ravini, so the executive committee, and then all the committee members as well. It does become a team effort. There's little bits and pieces that we all pitch in and we try to do. The great things about it, I think, is I get to talk to so many different people at the club about a whole lot of random stuff. It's I've got a philosophy that I don't care what age, what religion, what color skin, whoever you are, as long as you're a decent person, I'm happy to be your friend. I'm happy to chat to you about whatever and anything. And because of this role, I get to do that. There's, I was saying the other, having like Nilu message me about, the cricket today, going out to dinner with Bob, it could be chatting to, sort of Pondy about something, out with Jivan last night, the cricket. It doesn't matter who it is. I get the opportunity to spend so much time with so many great Parkfield people. So that's a real honour to, be in that role doing that. Talking to the media and able to talk about our achievements is something I absolutely love.
Oh, media street Swierzbiolek.
Yes.
Yeah,
but I genuinely love it. I like most of those calls usually should be like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and like 20 minutes later, and I'm still talking about all the great things our club's doing. And how can you not? Like, it's just a great place to be. So, I love being down there. It's nothing better than coming back and then hearing people doing great achievements, seeing what you guys have been in with the Poddy, what the work with the juniors. It doesn't matter what it is, and even sometimes it's just people's personal stuff. They come back and tell me, they've got a new job, or people get engaged, married, and have kids. It's just, it really warms your heart that, we've got such a great community that we're all a part of. So I love being in charge of that. Probably the most interesting thing's been, you don't, like, I know Tara's helped us bring in with the Beyond Blue, and we did the big blue table that day and talking about mental health. That's probably the one thing that surprised me, that, having some of these conversations with people that you thought you'd never be having, because people go through different stuff, be it, personal life, financials, whatever, and that. But, it's a real honor to sit there and talk with people, and they have enough trust and respect to come to you with their problems, and, you're happy to listen or give advice wherever. So, I'm just thankful that I get to do this and enjoy every second of it.
Wow. Mesmerized.
Sorry, guys. It's not the normal tone for this podcast. I know I should have just said something absolutely stupid there, but no, it's I do. I absolutely love it.
Sitting here with like those heart eye emojis, like
deep dive into the presidential mind of Swiss. I love it. Cool, Jordie.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate.
I'm wrapping you up, Canno.
Oh, sorry, mate. No,
I'm wrapping you up.
You duck off to bed, mate. We'll take it from here. Don't mind us.
Sorry.
You had enough.
I've had a rough night. Okay, go on. Give me a spell.
Want to talk us through what you
No.
last night, mate? No,
not at
No,
all.
please do, Jordie. This is podcast worthy.
Good night.
Because I thought I had a big day yesterday, but go, Jordie.
No, nah. Moral of the story.
I will. It's my podcast.
All right, no. Moral of the story is I got locked out of my hotel and had to sleep in my car in St Kilda. So,
Buddy Hill, her dad was listening. Got a couple of phone call after this.
oh, no.
Guilty.
Well, I already told Mum, so hopefully she broke the news to Dad. So.
At least,
That's probably the part of the story I would have left out. I probably would have told the first part, but that's okay. You can choose your battles.
No. So we'll leave it at that.
We'll move on.
All right. So a couple of weeks ago, I think on our first podcast, we were talking about everyone getting down to the grand opening of the net. So we've now had that, and we also had a really special guest down there. So do you want to talk us about that day and everything that panned out?
Yeah, well, I know he's not necessarily the most loved person, depending on who you talk to.
I love him.
Some people love him, some people hate him, or whatever. But to have the premier come down to do our nets opening was a real highlight. It was great. So many people come from the club. Obviously, you have the mayor, the former mayor, different councillors. Just community people. So yeah, it was a special day to and then just to spend that time, one-on-one chats. There's a couple of photos floating around. I know having some there were counsellors. I think there was one at the canteen with Jiv and myself and Eden. I think Eden's first day working in our canteen and just has the premier come up as your first customer. So it was awesome that he was happy enough to actually listen to people's stories, get around the group and that. Just able to talk about all the great things that our club does. Tried to hit him up for $8 million. Just, thought he might have that in the back pocket for us.
Any danger, Daniel, or what?
That was great. And then even to have some of our sponsors come down on our Bryant's Real Estate. We had one of the managers over from NV Pie from New Zealand. So he came over from it. So it was actually, it became a really massive day. Just to talk cricket, and then at least he leaves going, all the great things we're doing at Parkfield, and hopefully if he gets elected, which is most likely, he can throw some more cash our way.
Get the east-west link footpath across Parkfield paid for. I'll stop there. I don't want to get political.
And obviously that's just another step in our master plan that we're getting done at the club. We also had that playground, so the old nets are gone now. We've had the playground put in. Do you know what the next step is in our master plan and how that's tracking along?
Yeah, so I think it's a lot to do with how the election plays out. So what hurt us originally was the master plan being delayed because of obviously all the protesters and wackos we had to deal with there. And then, some issues down at Lindell with theirs. So theirs got bumped up. Then Dandy Pool, Dandy Market. So unfortunately, we kept falling back a bit further. So it's sort of now like 3 years, I think we're looking at. But it all now comes up to Daniel Andrews. So if he gets elected, there's a chance that he might move the money forward, and then they can start on the concept design, where we'll sit down with the soccer club and tennis club and work out the design of the clubs, and then they'll move the tennis courts. I think redo the car parking, and then we'll get into building the new double-story rooms that we'll get over at the tennis court end.
Lovely.
Vote Labor.
Yeah, I was like, Parkfield, you know where to vote then.
I am in absolute liberal heartland here, so I'm going to not, I can't really say yes or no to that, but it's interesting the amount of people have come up to me and gone, oh, we get why you had to meet Daniel Andrews, but why? But, it was still good. Like, it's not every day you have the Premier down, so let's hope that for our sake, for Parkfield's sake, it's a good election for us.
Is there a chance he listens?
Oh, absolutely.
Probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of time they spend on that tour bus going around from place to place. So what else is he going to listen to?
I reckon he whacks it on the TV, logs on to YouTube, pops it up, bit of popcorn.
All
right.
Look, probably not. Cool. Are you happy, Jordan?
I'm very happy.
Okay, cool. Just one more thing. You brought up all your accolades.
I didn't actually, but yeah, let's go.
I just want to ask you about one more. Parkfield Poker. You're a champion?
I am. Sure am, mate.
Talk us through how that came about. Talk us through.
I'm pretty sure I beat Dags. I think I finished first 2 or 3 years and absolutely choked in the final table. So it's finally nice to win one. It sits very nicely next to my hot dog eating award back from primary school, so it just looked good. And I have
were they Bobby Butler hot dogs? Oh, hot dogs are ready. Brad Baptist hot dogs are ready.
Somebody was saying this the other day. They were asking, I've actually been interviewed once before about random stuff, and they've got a dead set have the most exciting life ever. And I've gone, some people think I've got the most boring life. Other people think I've got the most exciting life. So yeah, it depends. Like I don't open up about a few things. I am, as much as everybody thinks I'm really open and talk and I talk a lot of shit, probably more than Phil Drew, which isn't, it's a hard effort. But at the same time, there's a lot of things I don't talk about. So, but I'm really proud of the achievements that I've had, more from a Parkfield thing, like, watching like the ladies winning those premierships that year, that day when we won the Turf 3 premiership, and you and I, Stevie, were just sitting back in the room soaking it back in about for 15 minutes, maybe 3 or 4 hours after. That was awesome. To actually finally win a premiership for Parkfield with the winter cricket boys, and that's been such a big part of our club for 7 years now. To have guys who were part of the club, well, part of our summer club, but are still now part of our club through the winter season. It's helped us recruit Hansi, who's already a premiership player. Lucky it only took me 15 years, but well done, mate. 6 games and you win a premiership. Fucking lucky bugger. So yeah, all that good stuff. And then from an individual point of view, yeah, you're like the 50s, you like the fifers and that, but it only really matters when you win. So and that's what we finally got to do. So I'm not that. I like to come in and talk up my really random bowling and taking wickets and stuff, but yeah, it's all the other achievements that I do actually prefer.
Lovely. Cool. I love how we went from a poker question to that.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, it's not me. I can't answer a question with like a simple answer. Yes, I won the poker thing. I beat Dags. I can't even remember the hand I had, but it was awesome.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you what hand it was, but that's all right. But...
I actually can't remember.
Let's be honest, Pondy. We need to appreciate this infill because we got bugger all written down on the question list.
No, that's fine. You can ask me whatever.
Like a well-oiled machine.
It is. I was about to say that well-oiled machine. And that.
Lovely, mate. Cool. I think that wraps up the interview portion of the Rodcast, the Pondcast.
The Pondcast, the Parkfield Pondcast.
Keep it away.
Yeah. So let's move on. We've had a few functions. We've played no cricket. We've had more functions than we have games of cricket. And I'm not kidding.
Very true.
I'm not kidding. But yeah, so we had our first frat party. Our first frat party was a function. Our first function was frat party. Do you want to talk about how that went, Jordan?
Yeah, not much to talk about. We kind of just rocked up and
Did
what we usually do. Didn't get through all
night.
of the keg, but that's all right. We had a beer pong competition. My highlight was seeing Riley and Pondy get knocked out first round. That was absolutely beautiful.
And I still won, so explain that.
Yeah, and then by default, Rory's partner left, so I let him choose someone, and then Pondy came in, and they ended up winning, which was
number 1 draft pick.
Annoying.
C Pond.
Jason Horn Francis. Bugger off home.
Pissed off back home.
But yeah, that was a good night. That was a good night. Then we had Melbourne Cup Day last Tuesday or Tuesday before. And yeah, just so good to have Melbourne Cup back at Parkfield after a couple of years of COVID. One of the best days at the club all year. And yeah, it was a really good day. Lots of people down there. Unfortunately, you couldn't have a jumping castle this year, but oh well. Luckily, there weren't too many kids there, so that was fine. But yeah, I think it was a good day for the club until Crown and Anchor came. Oh, am I allowed to say that?
You saved us, Jordie. You did save us near the end, but yeah.
Oh no, I was like, am I allowed to say we did Crown and Anchor?
Probably not, but let's go. Yeah.
Did I cut it out?
Nothing to do with Parkfield.
No, boats. We race boats because of the Melbourne weather. We go out there.
That is right.
And Royals.
It was wet that day.
Yeah, it was.
It was wet.
It was Royals versus boats.
Yeah, that's right.
With the Queen, the King, running against. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, it was good up until that point, but yeah.
Yeah, financially did pretty well other day.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing.
Yeah. Good job to everyone who chipped in throughout the day. Best on ground was Pondy with the Calcutta. Good job. And then also the end of the night when he made us laugh for about 2 hours. That was
actually yes. Yes.
Democracy.
I give him the Calcutta. Oh my god. What was it again?
Democracy.
What's this?
Mate.
What's this?
There might be some offensive footage coming out of this that I have on my phone to view at about. Should I be saying this? I wonder if anyone really sees this.
At 11:30 at night. Yeah, let's just say that.
As long as my boss doesn't listen to this, we're fine.
Trying to see him clean up the chips as well.
Oh dear.
God.
Trying to get you the day off and everything.
Stitches.
What chips?
See, that's how funny.
You talking about me?
Yes.
I don't remember any of this.
Excellent. That makes sense, actually.
The president clearly does now, so we might have to have a chat this week, Pondy.
Well, let's put it this way, Pondy. You made a mess. You attempted to clean it up, and Dodgy actually thanked us for you trying to clean up your own mess. So you did good, man.
Okay.
You did good.
Great. Thank you for explaining.
So
I
yeah.
remember hitting my head. That's all I remember.
Oh god, that was funny as well.
After that, blur.
Cool.
Cool. And we have a couple of upcoming functions.
Yeah, so we've got Miss Parkfield coming up on the 26th of November. So first time we've done this one in a while. And who have we got? We've got a few ladies ready to go for the night. If no one knows, basically it's a pageant where some of our men from the club dress up as ladies and give us a bit of a show. And we have a panel of judges judging them throughout the 4 categories. And it's going to be a really fun night. So you can buy tickets through our event page on the Parkfield Facebook page. Click through the event and buy some tickets. Yeah, that's going to be a really fun night. So hopefully everyone can get down there. And then, so we were originally meant to have our Ladies' Day earlier in the year, but because of the weather and kind of not playing cricket, we postponed it. So that's now on the 10th of December, I want to say.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, 10th of December.
Turn this into a committee meeting. Yeah, 10th? Yeah.
Let's do it. So that's going to be on the 10th of December. So that's our Ladies' Day fiesta. And yeah, so please invite all your ladies of your life down to the club and let them celebrate and have a good day of it.
Does that include the contestants of Miss Parkfield?
Or I mean, if you don't want to play cricket, then yeah.
Couldn't be any worse than what I did on Saturday.
I'm with you, Canno. I'm with you.
Beautiful. That's it for now.
Awesome. So look, we probably won't play cricket again this week. The weather looks terrible again.
Does it?
Yeah.
I've got a theory, Pondy. If I don't change work, we get on, because that's what I did last week, and then had to dump my train somewhere and get somebody to take it for me to
Dump the train.
Yeah, dump my train on a platform. Hopefully my boss isn't tuning into this, but yeah, it eventually ran.
Yeah, so
No,
was it called La Nina?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
The rainy season?
Yeah. Well, I'm
that's
not
gonna be
trusting.
foggy.
It's true. We're in the middle of a rainy season. La Nina.
Jane Bun Pond.
I'm not trusting. What?
Google La Nina.
No, I'm not going to. You Google it.
I know what it is. You're the one questioning my ethics.
I'm not. I didn't say anything about that. I said I'm not trusting Bomb anymore because it was meant to rain on Sunday and it
It
didn't.
was.
All right, stop whinging, yeah?
Oh, it did
Yeah,
rain.
click on
I wasn't
rained,
whinging.
it rained the moment the 2020 final stopped.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
It was actually perfect.
All right. Whatever.
I'm done.
If we play cricket this week, if we don't, whatever. The ones are playing Cranbourne at Parkfield. Start at 12:30. Canno might be playing. He might be playing twos.
Mate, it doesn't rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What are you on about?
Pissing down
It doesn't
Saturday.
starts raining
It's 20
Saturday
on
afternoon.
Saturday,
Saturday
Darwin.
afternoon, mate.
Yeah, we play in the afternoon, boss.
Yeah, we'll probably still get on.
All right, well, whatever. Okay. I'm reading the match reports anyway. Twos are at Cranbourne against Cranbourne. The thirds will be playing Buffy Ridges on the Saturday at Tatterson East Oval.
The grandstand oval, yep.
You want to get your compass out? One day ones are playing against Fountain Gate Gold. Ooh, fancy. And also at Tatterson.
Yeah, Shawnee shipped off to the other oval.
Yep. So 2 games at Tatterson if you want to get down. Under 10s, Canno, where are they playing?
Mate, that is a really good question.
Keysborough Reserve, Friday night,
Spot on.
5:15 p.m.
Yep.
Jordan Hill, the girls.
So the Shield side is playing Edinburgh out at Edinburgh on the Sunday, and our twos side is playing Richmond at, it says TBD. So
Yeah, their
Oh, there
grounds.
you go.
Saturday disorder.
Quickly
It's
determined.
because they've got the they have the I think the Christmas markets or some I can't swear, but something out there at Burnley Oval, so they'll probably put that game somewhere. But I think obviously both teams will be somewhere near the city. So
Yeah.
There you go. Drive around the city and you might find us.
yeah, you'll find those, and then the following Tuesday, yeah, we've got our under-18s Parkfield match, which is down at Aspendell. So I think we've got a training session tomorrow for the under-18 girls, and yeah, hopefully we'll be a big season.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Good shiz, good shiz. We'll wrap it up, I reckon. I've had enough.
Want to do a poll question, mate?
Yeah, I'll get into it. It's part of the outro, boss.
All right, mate.
Whose podcast is this?
Sorry.
Mine.
Podcast.
Because it
Clearly
was
Jordie's.
yours and then you stuffed it up too much. So it's mine.
No, I
now.
stuffed up the recording. I'm still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, hey,
That is
this,
one thing we
this
should
better
do.
have recorded. I don't want a Pat Hill situation here, mate.
I was going to say, we really should get Pat Hill on this podcast. I reckon that'd be a great idea. I reckon you'd be a great guest.
Yeah,
You'd have a lot
No.
of
surely.
I don't
We
know.
should do that, Pondy. You're the host. You should organise it.
No. Nah, I don't reckon he has that much to talk about, if I'm being honest. Like, has he even done anything in sport, like ever?
I could almost retell it word for word. We've had that many cracks at it.
Done it 7 times. Anyway. Cool. So thank you so much to David for awkward to say.
You love saying it too, mate. It's
I don't
so
know why, I've
weird
never
when
said
you
it
fucking
before.
say it every time.
Never said it
Like,
before.
oh, David.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on short notice. We texted you about 45 minutes before we started.
Appreciate it.
Clearly a busy man.
Clearly.
Clearly underprepared too.
Yeah. No, you keep yourself very busy. You do a lot for the club, and we can't thank you enough because honestly, this club wouldn't run without you. Especially if Canno had to step up as president, we'd be in shambles.
Thanks.
I'd quit. I'd
Yeah.
quit.
Cool. Without Jordan.
Oh, righto, mate.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully everyone has a great week. Hopefully everyone gets on the weekend and hits some red balls on a green field. And our question for this week is, would you rather fight 10 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Yep.
I did not
You've
think you were
done
going to
well.
get that out. I did
We've
not.
run out of questions.
You have done
It's a
so
great
well.
question. It's an awesome question.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your week. Peace.
Bye.